Simultaneously, I would request you all to install it all together so you can follow up with the steps. I hope you all are installing it together. Until it gets installed, I'm going to explain this. So this is basically the Anaconda Navigator. So we are going to use this to program by using Python language. So when you install the Anaconda Navigator, what we are going to use is Jupyter. So Jupyter Notebook we are going to use to work with Python. So now we are going to now you need to click on the launch. So whenever you are going to click on the Jupyter, this window is going to open on the Chrome window. After that, you're going to click on this new button in the right side. Click on Python 3. So this is basically the environment which we are going to use to program. You can also use, there are different sources which you can work with to program with Python. There is PyCharm also available, but I actually prefer with Jupyter because first advantage with Jupyter is it allows to install a lot of modules which are related to BioPython and BioPython, specifically biology. So there are a lot of modules freely available in Jupyter, so that makes it easy for bioinformaticians to work with Jupyter and Anaconda. So you can see this plus sign. What I'm doing is I'm adding the cells. So these are the cells. So we can use cells by using the plus sign. What happens is whenever we are programming here, it is easy if you code only single. So that is easily understandable also. And whenever you save the file, you are easily you can easily bifurcate the codes what you have typed and what you have commanded. So these are the cells. You can add more cells by this insert cell below. So you can add as many cells as you want. If you want to delete any cell, you can simply delete it. What I'm typing here, I can delete that cell. This is to copy selected cell. If I have typed anything here, I want to copy that in this, so we can do that. Whenever I want to save the file, how I'm going to save is go to file, make copy of, you can do this, or you can go download as, and whatever format you want to download. You can go with python.py, .pynb, html, latex, pdf, any format, whatever you want to download. What I would prefer to download is in the notebook format, because we are using Jupyter Notebook right now to program. If anybody has any questions, please you can turn on your mic, because I won't be able to look after the chats again and again. So if you have any questions and doubts, please ask the questions.
Yeah, I think you can carry on, Diksha.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you can carry on. They are not having any doubts as of now.
Okay. O- okay. Okay. So for the introduction of Python, the topics that we are going to cover are basic syntax, variable type, basic operators, decision making, and loops. This is what we are going to cover in the introduction of Python. In BioPython, we are going to cover how. So, one more question. Uh, Everybody who are there, sub, they are all belonging from the biology or biotechnology field, or have any
Yes,
background in science or anything.
yes, ma'am. Biotechnology background.
Okay, okay. Because when we are going to go with the BioPython section, actually that would require a little of your science background as well. So who are not, so please tell me. So we are going to start with the basics of biology as well, so that you can like understand the RNA, DNA, and everything, whatever we are going to study in the BioPython section. Okay. Now you can see the exe file that I downloaded has been downloaded. Now we have to open that file. Now this is the wizard window. Now we are going to install it. So all you have to do is next, 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 next. I agree. Install for just me or all users. We are going to go with just me. The destination folder. As I already have Anaconda in my laptop, it is not installing, but this is how you are going to do the setup of your Anaconda. Uh, Everybody is clear? Okay, so this is how you have to set up the Anaconda in your laptop. And as you will install the Anaconda, all you have to do is you are going to open the Anaconda from here. Anaconda. You can see Anaconda Navigator. Whenever you are going to open that, this window is going to open, and then you need to click on Jupyter Notebook and do the launch thing. So as soon as I launch, a new notebook is going to open in my Chrome. This is the last one that I opened. This is the new one. How we have to open the Jupyter Notebook? You have to click on New in the notebook Python 3. Create a new notebook with Python 3. So I'm going to click it, and this is the next notebook. So this is how you have to work. Now, uh, so first let's start with the data types. Numbers and characters. We can use numbers as well as characters to code for our programs. Sorry. In characters, we can use alphabets or words, anything. Numbers, integers, decimals, we can use anything. These are the data types. If we move on to the data structures, so data structures basically are the types of codings which we can use. Meaning, every situation or every programming is going to require a basic goal, what we want to fetch, what we want to program, what we want to develop. So accordingly, we are going to select our data structures. So there are different types of data structures that are present in Python. First is single valued variable. B, list. Third is tuple, dictionary. These are the four types of data structures that we are going to learn how we can code in these types of structures. So these are the main four data structures that are available in Python, and we can select any of the data structure to code for our command. So for the first, we are going to work with the single valued variables. So single valued variable, as the name suggests, has single variable. For example, I'm going to start with the simplest, x is equals to 2. What I'm doing here exactly is I have a variable called x and I have stored the value of x in 2. Now, I don't know what value, for example, if I have a lot of variables, but right now we are just working with a single variable. But just imagine you have a lot of variables and you have stored different values into those variables. Then you realize that you want to fetch the value of that specific variable. How we are going to take the output from that file? Um, I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say.
Yes, Malavika has written yes. Hello, Diksha.
Okay, okay, okay. So exactly what we are doing is we have a value of 2 and we are storing that value in x.
Diksha, your screen is no more shared.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So in single valued variable, what we do is we store any variable, any value in a single variable. So here we can usually work with single variable and store single values to those variable. So now here, as you can see, I have stored 2 in x variable. Now supposedly I want to fetch the value from x. What I'm going to do is simple. I'm going to type print parenthesis and type x because I want to fetch the value of x. Now I can write, what I'll do is whenever you want to get the output, just Remember this thing, because if you are going to type the code, you will not get the result. सिंपल, जब भी आपको रिजल्ट चाहिएगा, what you are going to do is control and enter. Whenever you want the result, you are going to do control and enter. Then only you are going to get the result. If you just simply enter, it is not going to give you any result. All you have to do is control and enter to get the result. Okay. The error was, if you are wondering, actually I've written this a single valued variable. So Python has not taken this because it is just a sentence, and he can and Python cannot take this command. So I've given the command here, x is equals to 2, and I want to print x. So we got the output 2. Okay. If you want ki we should try more examples. Supposedly if I store 40 in A, I have B is equals to 50, C is equals to. Now, I want A plus B. मतलब I want कि हम इन दोनों के results add करके print करें C के अंदर. What I'm going to do is C is equals to A plus B. Now we can see in Python हम directly लिख रहे हैं कि we want A plus B. If you were programming with different language, you had to command that in a different way, in a very lengthy way, which would be hard to understand. But using Python, it is easy to understand and to code. So I want A plus B. So I have written C is equals to A plus B. Now I'll print. Whenever you want to print anything, what you have to do is the that variable you need to print, because what we have done here is we have stored the value of A and B in the C variable. I'm hoping that I'm making the point. Now what I'm doing here is I'm printing the value C. Now I'm going to control and enter. What has been done is the value of A variable and the V variable has been added, and it has been stored in C. Now what we did, we printed the output of C. I'm doing some other example. You can just simply, you can notice here I'm just entering and then stating the statements in different line. All you can do is you can just put the command in a single line also. So Python also takes multiple statements on a single line. So I have x is equals to 20. I want the value of x. That is why I've written print of x. Y equal to 200 and print of y. Now I'll control and enter. It is going to give us the output. So we got x ka output 20 and y ka output 200. Now what we can do is, if I store the value like x is equals to y equals to z equals to p equals to a, b is equals to r, and I want that all these variables have the same value. So I can write 250 here, and we can see all the values of these variable is 250. It is obvious if I print for x, it is going to give us 250. If I print for p, it is going to give me the same answer. If I print for r, it is going to give me the same answer. So what is happening here is the value of the variables has been the same, and we can take out the output whatever variable we want to take out with. I hope all these examples were clear to you. We can try with one more example. Suppose I have x comma y comma p comma d comma z, whatever, and I store these variables value as 20 comma 40 comma 50 comma 60 comma 1 2 3 4 5 and 100. Okay, now I have stored their values, separating them with the commas. Now I want the value of x, control, enter. 20, because first variable and the first variable's value. Now I want to fetch print of z, last variable, and the last variable's value is 100. Then I want to print p. P is the third variable, and here the third variable's value is 50. So that this way we can fetch out the values of any variable that has been stored at any number. There's one more way we can do. If I have x is equals to stored as 250 and I want to print x, so this is going to give us the answer. Now what I am doing here is x is equals to x plus 2. What I did, I've stored the value of x as 250. Now what I am doing is x ka value is already 250. What I am doing is 250 ke andar I am adding 2, and then I can print x. The answer has been adjusted and updated, and it is giving us the output 252. Uh, any doubts?
No, ma'am. As of
Okay,
now, no doubt.
okay. Now, as we discussed that we can input values like numbers as well as characters while using Python. So we should try with one more example using the characters. So suppose I have x is equals to 200, then a is equals to, I said we can use three decimals also, so I'm using 3.5, and then I'm storing c in ABC. Whenever you are using or working with characters and words, you need to quote them. You need to use the quotations while writing the alphabets or words. Now I'm going to print. So we can print likewise x, then print of a 3.5, and print of p. If, for example, don't put any quotations, let's see what is the output. They're saying ABC is not defined because it is not taking it as the character. Python got confused whether it is a character or it is a number. So we need to every time specify characters or any words with quotations. You can use double quotes or single quotes, whatever, but you need to quote them every time whenever you are writing alphabets or characters. So this was actually all about the single valued variable. I'm going to start the second data structures, which is the list. Right, till now we have completed the single valued variable. Okay. So with list, we are going to use square brackets. If you have noticed here, we have used round brackets or parentheses in while working with single valued variable. So the difference between single valued variables and list is you're going to use square brackets while working with lists. So let's start with the examples of list. If I create a list, and also you can store n numbers of values in list. um, Earlier in this single valued variable, you were storing only single values for single variable. For list, you can store n numbers of values for any variable. For example, if I'm storing value of x, now whatever value I want to store in the variable, that I'm going to store by using square brackets. So we're going to put square brackets, and in x I can store any number, n numbers. So this is the value that I want to store in x. Now I am going to print x. Okay. Output is, you can see. Now one more difference, you can see the output is also in the square brackets because we are working right now with list. But in this, in single valued variable, there is no brackets or anything. The output is single, the value only. But in the list, you are going to get the output with the bracket as well. Now let's do with the other example. If I store x in 10, comma 20, now I'm going to use alphabets x, y, z, dog, 10.11. Okay, so this is the value that I want to store in the variable x. Now I can simply print. This is the output. Now, we are going to do one operation in this list, which is the fetching. Fetching simply means we want to, like, if you ask me, ki, whenever we are printing x, we are getting the whole output. But somebody says that I just want to fetch the dog. हमको सिर्फ डॉग चाहिए आउटपुट में, हमको पूरा आउटपुट नहीं चाहिए. सो व्हाट इज द मेथड टू फेच ओनली अ स्पेसिफिक वैल्यू from that variable? So if we want to do that, what we can do, if I have let's start with some other example. I'm storing values in b. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, I can print. If I print b, it is definitely going to give us the output as the whole value, whatever we stored in the variable b. Now, if I want that I fetch only 10, so I want the answer. What is the value of 10 in this list? I'm asking the question, please. I want the answer. What is the value, like position? कौन सी position पे 10 है? At what place or position 10 is in this variable? Yes, yes.
So it is better you speak out because she is not able to see the chat box.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'll open the chat as well.
They have
Okay, one. What about vector, array, and matrix? We are not going to discuss about vectors, array, and matrix because they are not included in this topic actually. Vector, array, and matrix, we basically discuss in R programming and not in Python. So all those who are replying with one, Actually, what happens when you want to fetch or when you want to take any digit out in Python,
It
we start
starts
with
with
zero.
zero.
Yes. Okay, so we start with zeroth position. So 10 is at the zeroth position, 20 is at the first position, 30 is at the second position, and so on. So we start by counting from the zeroth position. So if I say I want to fetch 10, I'm going to write. So the fetching way is this. Okay, what you have to do, print off in the brackets, parenthesis, as you were writing B. That way you have to write B, and then what you are going to do, you are placing a square bracket, and in that square bracket you need to write the position of the value that you want to fetch. Okay, so if I say I want to fetch 10, I am going to write here 0. If I say I want to fetch 60, I'm going to write 5, because it is at 1 0 1 2 3 4 and 5th position. Okay, so we are going to start with 10. So I'm writing here 0 only, and control enter. It is now just giving us the output, which is the 10th. If I say I want to fetch 30, I am going to write 2 here and then control enter. The answer has been changed to 30. Likewise, whatever position we want to fetch, we can write in the square bracket, and output will be given in this. This is the way you are going to fetch any value that has been stored in the variable. Now also, suppose if you want to fetch specific value, supposedly you have a very large data, okay, and you don't know कि उसके last value कितना लंबा है. Suppose I said that हमको 60 चाहिए, so I just simply counted and said ये 5th position पर है. But if you have a huge data and you are not able to count कि वो उसका last digit कौन से number पर है या कौन से position पर है, what you can do, that we are going to discuss right now. So suppose I wrote here 5 to fetch 60. There is one more way to fetch. Print off. Now, if you directly want to fetch the last digit or last value of the variable, you need to write -1. Output is 60. Because हमको position नहीं पता है उसका, so we have directly wrote -1, meaning सबसे last वाला. If I write if I want to fetch 50, then I can write -2. We here in these two examples we have not written the positions. We have just written -1 and -2 to fetch the last and the second last most position, second last most value of the variable. Likewise, we can do in this also. Print of x, and if I want to search dog, so I'm going to count 0 1 2 and 3. -1 is giving us the last value, and if I write print of -2, it is going to give us the last second digit, which is the 10.11. This way you can fetch accordingly if you want to write the position of that value, or if you just directly want to fetch the value from directly the last or the second last or the third last. Likewise only you can perform the task, like if you want to fetch the last third, you can write this way: -3. This is going to search you the dog, fetch you the dog. So if you don't know the position, last fifth search करना है आपको, last second, last first, whatever, you can do this way.
Ma'am, if I need two outputs simultaneously, like 20 and 40,
Yeah.
then what we have to mention print
Okay.
value as 1, and can we use and, or what? How we
You
can
can
get
use
different
and,
values?
or simply you can put two positions. Okay, we
Okay.
can do it here only. Mm,
Also, I want to add something here.
yeah.
Please clarify about range as well. For example, from
Yeah,
2
yeah,
to
yeah. We are
fifth
going to
position. Yeah,
do range also.
yeah.
We are going to do range
Okay.
operator also. Okay, let's start first with range operator, and then we can fetch two values if we want to fetch. Okay. So, uh, okay, I'll put one new variable as ABC in the list 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 50. Just a second, my shift key is not working. I need to colon. Okay. So if we want to select specific numbers from a range operator, like हमको somebody is asking you कि you have this file, you need to fetch the data from the first to the second last or to the fifth position, suppose. So what we can do is, I'll put the square bracket. Here I'm not writing print. Yeah, I'll okay. So as we were writing here print also, if you don't write print, that would also work. Like this way. So what I have written here is ABC, then the square brackets. Now I'm writing from what range to the end I want to fetch the value. So I want to fetch till 40, suppose. So what I'm counting is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now basically I need to write 3 if I want to fetch till 40. But now you are going to learn one new thing. What is happening is it is just giving us the answer till 30th. So what happens in range? As we saw when we were fetching directly the values, we were starting with 0th position, 0, 1, 2, 3. What happens with range? It starts with first position, but you need to mention 0th position. I mean to say is, whatever value you are going to put in the range operator, it is basically -1, meaning start index, end index, minus -1. मतलब जो भी end index you are going to put, it is basically -1. So I put the last index as third, but it is fetching me -1, which is 30. Okay. Should I explain this with one more example?
This is fine.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's do one more time. ABC, suppose I am writing 2, 0, 1, 2. So it is going to start fetching from 30. Now I want till the 90th. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I want till 90, I need to write 2 to 9. One more you need to write if you want 90. Matlab 90 is at the 8th position, but you need to write the position as 9 because the last index is always minus 1. We are going to start counting with 0th, but the end index should be always minus 1. If I wanted to fetch till 100, I had to write, so it is fetching us whole. So the examples that we did right till now were the basic examples. You might get data in which you'll have brackets in brackets in brackets. So those are complex data. So for example, I have this data which has one single bracket. Matlab, in the brackets, you have 10, 20, 30, and after 30, you have one more bracket which has value suppose to 10, to 20, to 30. After this bracket, we have 50, 60, and 90. Okay, so this is the bracket we have till now, right now. So after this, I want to fetch print. I'm not using print now. So if I wanted to fetch 10, I could have easily written here 0 and the value would be 10. But if you say you want the 210, so how we are going to fetch 210 is bracket 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, one more thing I forgot to tell you. See, how we were counting, we were counting from 0th position. So this is the 0th position. So this is the position. So this was 0, 1, 2. This is the third position whole, then fourth, then fifth, and then sixth. So I want to fetch 210. So this is at the third position. And in the third hole, it is at the 0th position. We are getting the output 210. Suppose after 50, I have one more bracket. 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. And see, what you need to do is whenever you are putting any bracket in brackets, you need to always put the commas. If you don't put the commas now, so this is going to give us the error because they are different values and at different positions. So you need to put commas after every value. So after 50th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, one more bracket. So how we are going to count? If I want to fetch 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this whole bracket is at the fifth position. I'm writing here 5. And then the second bracket we need to count. Uh, I said we want to find 3. So it is 1, 2, oh sorry, 0, 0, 1, and 2. So 3 is at the second position. Is giving us the output 3. So this way, if you have n numbers of brackets, multiple brackets, we can fetch our values by writing the bracket ka position and then writing the value ka position wherever the value is present. Now, this is the last example for today of a list which we are going to follow. So, if I am having 3 variables, suppose, so I'm storing the value of a in 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Then I have b value which is stored in 8 comma 9 comma 10 comma 77, and c. Now what I'm doing is the value of a and b I want to write in c, in the brackets, a comma b comma, हमने a और b का value we have put in the value variable c. Now c का भी if we want some more values after a and b, so I can write 111. Okay, as we have stored the value of a and b into c, now we can print. Okay, so you can notice the list has been added as list. So the a list has been added in the c as the first list, b has been added as the second list in the c variable, and after that the comma and the value of the c that we wanted to add after c. So this is the variable c which has stored the values. Now we want to fetch suppose 5. What we are going to do, print c. Now the square brackets, whenever you are going to fetch any value from the brackets or from the variables, you always need to write the value. Oh, so you always need to write the square brackets to fetch the values. So I want to fetch the fifth value. So as we have stored the variables in C, now what we are going to do, this whole list is the 0th position. This whole list is the first position. And this second, third, and fourth. So from the first list, I said we want to find fifth. So the first list is at the 0th position and then fifth. So we are going to count from 0, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the output has been given 5. If you say we want to fetch from the B 77, so I can write C, then square brackets. So as we counted, this list is the 0th position. This list is the first position. So in the bracket, we are going to write the first position of the bracket, which is the first, then 0, 1, 2, and 3. So 77 is at the third position. Third, 77. Second, if I write minus 1, 77. If I write minus 2, 10. If I write minus 3, 9. This way we can fetch the values. Now there are a lot of topics which are left in list, which we can continue from tomorrow. And this was all about today. Now I really want to ask questions. If you have any doubts, please. Uh, Surya, you asked me, can you explain once more what you want to like understand? Logic of the problem. Uh, this problem you are asking, the last example that we did, when we do not know its position. Yes. Okay. So if you do not know the position, you are going to write the end या तो फिर first का. In more sessions, we are going to learn if you how we can find the specific number from that list. So that is the topic that we are going to discuss later on. Hema Lakshita. Uh, so this example, if you want to understand. So here, what we did, we have a variable that I stored as a list with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a b variable that I have stored as 8, 9, 10, 77. So these two are the variables जो कि हमने simply save कर दिया है. Now what I want to merge a and b in c. तो मैंने एक और variable बनाया c, and making it into a list I've stored a and b. So in Python, it is very simple to add and manipulate with the datas. So what I did is simply a comma b. So a comma b अगर मैं simply भी ऐसे run करती, it would have given us the answer a ka and b ka value. But what I did, I have added after b some more values to make it a real variable, yeah, new variable. So what I did, a comma b, which is saving the list of a and b into variable c. After that, I'm putting adding more values. So after comma,
Ma'am,
I've
your
written
screen
one
is
one
not
one one one
visible.
one
Ma'am,
two
your
and so on.
Jupyter screen is not
Screen.
Now what
visible.
I did, I am printing c. So printing c, what c is doing, it is
Ma'am, your
storing the value
Hello.
Jupyter screen is not
of
visible.
a,
Hello.
of b, and the c that we added with the comma. Now what I wanted to fetch specific values from the variable c, as it has stored.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Your Jupyter screen is not visible for anyone.
Okay. Okay, now it is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
So yeah. So what we did is I have stored the value of a and b in the variable c. Okay, creating c as a new list, I have simply written here a comma b to just add list a and list b in C. Okay, if I print this, I'm going to get A and B. Okay, but what I did here, I added some more values in this. So after list A and list B, I have added 111, 112, and so on. Okay, now I'm printing variable C. It is giving me the result as list A, list B, and 111, 112, and so on collectively. So C has all the values. Okay. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to fetch. Now we have this list. Now I wanted to find or fetch fifth number, not position, fifth number from the variable. So what I'm doing, print of C after bracket C. Now we are going to write the position. So as I said, हर एक list अपना एक position बनाती है. We cannot start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then fifth as eighth. Every list has its own position. So this list is wholly zeroth position only. This list wholly is at the first position only. And then these are the numbers. So we can start counting from second, third, and fourth. Okay. So I have written here in the first bracket as 0. So 0 is this list. Now in this list, I want to fetch 3. So I've written 0, 1, 2, 3 क्योंकि थर्ड पोजीशन पे फिफ्थ नंबर है. We want to fetch fifth. तो मैंने लिखा है 0 के बाद में 3. Likewise, in the second list, तो ये फर्स्ट लिस्ट था हमारा जो कि पोजीशन 0th पर है. डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज इन दिस. हमारा फर्स्ट लिस्ट 0th पोजीशन पर है. हमारा सेकंड लिस्ट इज एट द फर्स्ट पोजीशन. तो अब ये फर्स्ट पोजीशन पर आ गया. We wanted to find out, suppose 77. So I have written here 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, which is going to give us the output 77. अगर I have written 2 तो हमारे पास में 10 आ जाता. If we don't have any value, हमें नहीं पता पोजीशन लास्ट वाले नंबर का क्या है, so we can simply write -1 and that is going to give us the answer 77. If I had written -2, that would have given us the answer 10. So likewise, we can do. And how can we directly fetch that value? We are going to learn in like coming classes. So this was all about Python and Python only. So I saw one question also. What is the difference between Python and BioPython? So basically, Python is for if we are doing any programming, like simply programming, if we are doing it is Python language. But BioPython has been developed specifically and specially for biologists to do certain tasks which are lengthy to perform in our wet lab. So BioPython has made it easy for scientists to screen or to go through certain genes if we want to study the genes. So BioPython is the biological version of programming, but that has programming, but it is basically for biologists. Yeah, we are going to go with the tuples from tomorrow. How to fetch minimum and maximum value, that we are also going to go with the further classes. uh till now what we did today, if you have any questions you can ask.
I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
If we want to save that value in a particular file,
Mm-hmm.
means currently this file this answer was in the screen only, means in I don't know in Jupyter window only, but I want to
Twitter.
save some values in some sort of text files. Then what we can do?
You want to save this whole
Means I want to
Jupyter
fetch
file?
the values. No, no, not whole.
Yeah,
Only output.
only output. So see,
Only output.
this is the examples that we are doing. In practical, what we are going to do is we are going to have some physical files, right? हमारे पास में कुछ Excel या CSV files, whatever files, but we are going to
Yes,
have
yes.
those files. So we have one more way of doing that is, firstly we are going to fetch that Excel file or whatever file file format we have into Python.
Yes, yes.
So
Okay.
we are going to import that file into Python, and then we are going to perform our tasks using that, and then we
Okay.
can
Means it's
store.
not like we are assigning some greater than sign in the form of output.
No. We cannot output this file because we are just fetching and like getting the results.
Means
But
you are saying, first of all, we use a file as an input, and from that input, we need some output that can be
yeah,
printed in a separate file.
right, exactly. That is what I'm saying. So we can store that output in some different file that way only. Okay. So this was all about today.
Okay, so thank you, Diksha,
Yeah.
and
Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you all for attending. And also, I would like to announce that this is for 5 days, this workshop, and it is the same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. That is till Friday we will be having. Diksha is offline.
Yeah. Okay.